There's not an animating policy idea behind this.
I disagree with this line of thinking for this reason. I think that actually Donald Trump was a weirdly astute political analyst when he said that, look, there's a lot of anger in the country, and it's not just in the country. If you look at working class, lower middle class people in Italy, in the UK, in all kinds of Western democracies, there is this huge enthusiasm for nationalist and populist candidates. And I think that a lot of Democrats want to think, well, that's a Trump thing. That's just among Republicans. It's not. That exists among Democrats too, and I don't think that Joe Biden, having been vice president all this time, is going to be able to tap into it.
There's a point here. There's people like Donald Trump rise in this country when voters and their leaders lose the audacity, they hope, and they cling to the status quo. And that's what both parties are doing right now. And Trump is playing into that.
Well, let's talk about Donald Trump. We had a conversation with him this morning. We've got this debate coming up Thursday. John Weaver, who works for John Kasich, another candidate who may make the stage, said preparing for the debate was like preparing for a NASCAR race where one of the drivers had been drinking. He didn't say which candidate he was talking about there. Dan Balz, for Donald Trump, what does he have to do? He's at the top of the polls, but what's his next move? What does he have to do?
I think for Donald Trump, the challenge is to present a personality or persona on that stage that is less bombastic than he is in some of his interviews. I thought the interview he did this morning was very effective. I mean, he dealt with the questions in an interesting way. He was very much Donald Trump. If he can come off that way and avoid attacking others, avoid the kind of negativism that he's projected on the campaign trail, then he could have a very successful debate.
Molly, Donald Trump's negatives are very high. In a Quinnipiac poll this week, 30% of Republicans said they would never vote for him. Hillary Clinton also has high negatives. Why are negatives a bigger problem for Donald Trump and not for Hillary Clinton? What's different about what he faces?
I think what you see with Donald Trump is someone who is not a professional politician and has gained some strength from that, but who also has taken a lot of contradictory positions. Hillary's problem is less about policy. She doesn't say a lot of things that many Democrats disagree with. It's just a question about whether she's trusted, whether she is liked, whether she's sort of a warm and fuzzy character. You have sort of the opposite with Donald Trump, and something that a lot of Republicans I've been talking to say they're looking at in approaching the debate is if they can try to pin him down on specifics and reveal that he has a really hard time answering a lot of these policy questions. He's very good at the bombast and he's a world-class entertainer. That's sort of what he does. And so they think that maybe the way to sort of bring him down to earth is to really get him on some policy questions.
John, her negatives are going to be...
Ron, we got to go. We'll be right back. We'll be back with all of you. Stay with us. We'll be back with our panel in a moment.